here's what you need to stop and ask yourself. Why do these companies, why does it seem like they are doing everything they can to get regulated? Think about this for a minute. These are very wealthy companies, right? They're worth $1 trillion. Facebook too. So what happens? Say that you just whole hog remove the Section 230 protections. Now, what Section 230 is and what it isn't, there's a lot of people who don't know what it is, and they talk like they know what it is. What it does is everyone has free speech, right? How this is defined legally is whether or not you have protection from certain liabilities with certain speech. There is some speech that is not considered protected speech. And by protected speech, I mean protected from legal action. If you issue death threats, if you are engaged in defamation, libel, slander, those things are not considered protected forms of speech. Now, you have free speech and you can say it. You can do it. But that doesn't mean that you are shielded from the legal consequences of doing it, because your doing that is then going to impact negatively someone else if what you're saying is false. It is amongst the hardest cases to litigate. So what 230 does is it removes that liability from entities that serve only as facilitators of speech. Let me use WordPress as an example. A lot of people blog, right? WordPress, and by the way, a blog and a post are two different things. A post is a particular piece of a blog. Blog's the whole thing. So WordPress hosts, or at least provides, the format, the structure. Basically you go and it's like WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. You can input something, add an image, bada boom, bada bing, you're ready to go. WordPress is considered a platform because it doesn't edit. The only thing that it actually takes action against is, like, if you're sharing pornography, of the child variety, illegal, heinous things that are not considered protected speech, it'll take action against. But otherwise, it doesn't do anything. You post whatever you want. There are a number of platforms like this. It's a platform. And that's how Twitter and Facebook operate. They operate under the auspices of their platforms, and they exist only to facilitate as a medium for people to engage in conversation. Now, Facebook and Twitter are not acting like that anymore. Anyone who goes out and says that taking a stance on Section 230 as it relates to Facebook or Twitter is the same thing as demanding a small business bake a cake at this point, and I've wavered on this, but I am completely and utterly convinced that it is an idiotic, absolutely mind-numbingly stupid comparison, and stupid people need to stop embarrassing themselves by making it. Because here's the thing. No one's saying you can't engage in an activity. You can be a publisher or you can be a platform. But you cannot be a platform and then behave as a publisher and act as though you are exempt from the same liability protections that other platforms are protected from. I'm on airwaves. My radio syndicator is not considered a platform. They are considered a publisher, and thus they are subject to any sorts of legal requirements as it relates to 230. Now, how is what an NBC, ABC, all of them are the same thing? They all choose what goes on and what doesn't. How is Facebook and Twitter, how are they different? They do the exact same thing, but they're treated differently. We're going to talk more about this, but that's the perspective through which I want you to start looking at this.